Good morrow! I'm Christina, and I welcome you to join me as I get dressed in my Elizabethan Noble ensemble. It's the 1570s, and fashion has a strong foothold in England as we ladies strive to look like our beautiful queen and spend as much of our fortune as possible showing off our family's wealth and status, within the confines of sumptuary laws, of course. A white linen smock, or shift, is the first layer, and also the most easily laundered. One purpose of the smock is to keep body oils from rubbing off on the garments worn above. An ingenious economy of fabric is employed in making this garment. Squares and triangles have been reassembled to form gussets, creating a snug fit while still allowing mobility. The front of my hair is dressed by combing each side over small pads to give a heart-shaped look. The back is neatly braided, and one portion contained within a caul of gold ribbon net, a small pearl sewn at each crossing. A second braid wraps around the caul and is pinned into place to finish the look. I have achieved this with the use of hair pieces. These stockings are of fine knitted silk, a true luxury as stockings are normally sewn from bias-cut fabric, but the feel of these is too tempting not to wear on this fine day. They extend above the knee and are held in place by a pair of garters. These are simple but sumptuously made of velvet ribbon, and wrapped once below the knee, then tied in a pretty bow to allow ease in walking. Their ends are tipped in dainty tassels that dance playfully with each step. Ah, my drawers! Each leg is gathered and sewn separately to a waistband, which ties closed through eyelets in the front. This must stay our little secret. They are too like gentleman's clothing for a lady to admit to wearing, but when it is warm out, I find them indispensable. In Italy, they call them calzoni. Mine are of white linen and cut very cleverly. A gusset on the crutch allows them to fit quite close and comfortably. Finely crafted shoes of ox-blood red leather are decorated all about with slashes of cutwork that show the contrasting fabric beneath. The fashion of our time forgets nothing. A small practical heel is attractively shaped, and they are kept closed with ties that finish in brass eyeglets. My Spanish farthingale is of silk. Strips of velvet ribbon are applied to the outside at even intervals. Cane, such as that used in basket weaving, is threaded into these channels to keep the farthingale in its triangular cone shape. The layers which go on top can be quite heavy, so it is lined with a strong linen, which makes the farthingale sturdier than it appears to be on the outside. A small crescent-shaped cushion is sewn inside the waistband, causing the farthingale to swing backwards slightly, and of course helps the waist appear smaller. It ties closed with tapes that lace through eyelet holes in the sides. The kirtle is, of course, silk as well. The skirt is heavily lined, particularly at the hem, and shaped to lay close to the farthingale beneath it. This helps the skirt keep its shape and to display the forepart without wrinkling. Today, my forepart is of beige silk damask and has already been basted to the kirtle front. The luster of the silk is set off by the woven design, meant to be seen beneath the open skirts of the gown. It can easily be changed out by the quick needle of my maid should I decide to wear a different one tomorrow. The bodice is stiffened with layers of linen and buckram pad-stitched in front to create a supportive garment. There are no other supportive layers needed. Eyelets in the sides and back allow the farthingale to be attached to the kirtle at the waist. In truth, I usually tie my farthingale to the kirtle before putting both pieces on at the same time. This keeps everything perfectly in place so nothing goes amiss should I decide to join in some dancing with the other nobles at court. My kirtle laces down both side backs. I can manage it on my own, but it is much easier when I have not given my maid the day off. Linen of the purest white is used to construct the partlet and ruff. The partlet is sewn together under the arms and closes at the neck with hooks and eyes. The ruff is pinned close so it forms a continuous circle. The partlet is then pinned to the kirtle to keep it in place. The ruff that frames my face is edged in lace. All lace is expensive. Fashion aside, I think its main purpose is to show off our family's wealth, not to mention the skill of our laundress. Each figure 8 in the ruff must be carefully shaped and set with starch. The mathematical perfection of its swirling edge is breathtaking to behold when it arrives freshly set and ready to wear. My gown has been prepared with several other elements already basted on, such as these sleeves that match my forepart, of course. They are made separate from the gown so that I can choose which pair I want to wear. Perhaps on the morrow I shall wear a different pair. The ruffs are basted into the sleeves, and I believe their purpose is to call attention to the hands. Delicate long fingers like the Queen has are highly prized. Clean, soft hands show off our family's wealth. I do not need to labor with my hands, except perhaps when I leisurely embroider. The trim of the gown echoes the structured shapes that make up this ensemble. Woven into a delightful geometric pattern of dark blue and tan, it draws the eye up and down the triangles that narrow into each other at the waist. The blue velvet of this gown catches the light as I move, and though it is of a dark color, it shimmers in the sunlight by day and candlelight by night. The bodice lines are straight and conical, and it mercifully closes up the front with hooks and eyes. My favorite brooch, shimmering with pearls and glittering stones, is the perfect accent to catch the eye. The sides of the gown attach to the kirtle beneath with ties so that the skirt fronts obediently stay put, no matter if I'm sitting, standing, or dancing. These fashionable pearl drop earrings are my favorite. The delicate shine of the pearls play off the whites of my eyes, and they go well with my brooch. The practicality of sun protection may be lost upon my dainty hat, which seems merely another excuse to add yet another accessory that coordinates with my gown. Gloves are essential for keeping my hands unspotted by the sun when I am going out of doors, and helps keep them soft and smooth as possible. A sweet bag in rich colors is opened and closed with a velvet ribbon strung through golden rings. In it I keep my essentials, such as a set of keys and my linen handkerchief. This handkerchief is in need of some fine embroidery. Perhaps that will be my next project. Many thanks for joining me today. I'm off on an adventure, and I hope you are too. I will leave notes for you on where each item was obtained and the patterns our tailors used to create each exquisite piece. Now go get thee dressed to have a glorious day.